A thread by Carlos Osuita. Press Secretary Kayleigh McEnany knows just how stupid the press is. Yes, whites are more likely to be killed by police than blacks. The press is using the wrong metrics. When you balance for percentage of population, blacks are 3.5 times more likely to be killed by police than whites. But guess what that means? You're assuming that 100% of blacks and whites are criminals. What you have to do is balance for percentage of people involved in criminal interactions with police. Guess what happens when you do that? Whites are 1.7 times more likely to be killed than blacks. That means 170% more likely. From Washington Times. Police kill more whites than blacks, but minority deaths generate more press coverage. A perfect illustration of this truism. There are three kinds of lies: lies, damned lies, and statistics. The reason whites are far more likely to be killed than blacks is that white people are far more susceptible to weird-ass anti-government ideologies than blacks. It's a cultural thing. American whites as a whole are much more likely to resent government intrusion, whereas blacks are more likely to rely on government. Although it's not true that more whites than blacks commit mass shootings, the reasons are different. Black mass shooters tend to be motivated by a sense of personal resentment for how the shooter perceives himself to have been treated. White mass shooters tend to be more motivated by amorphous resentment against systems and groups that never did anything to him personally. Of course, these are wildly generalized statements, but the simple fact is that in violent whites, cops are dealing with garden variety criminals or people with demented belief systems. In violent blacks, cops are dealing mostly with garden variety criminals. That's why more whites are killed by cops than blacks as a percentage of people involved in criminal interactions with cops. Activists should stop advertising that black people are 350% more likely to get themselves into violent confrontations with cops than whites. That's the real issue. If you took out the anti-government lunatics, there's no doubt that the percentage of blacks and whites killed by cops would be at parity. And there are 350 million interactions with cops per year, along with 10 million arrests. The cops kill about 600 people per year. They are doing a great job. If you can't see it, there's nothing else I can say to you on the topic.